What's the word? It's your host, Joe Realist and Mario, and we want to welcome you to Let's List 'em. Let's List 'em is a show that counts down topics according to a fun and specific category. Also, Let's List 'em is the show that's giving out a free $150 StockX gift card to one of our first 500 Instagram followers, and a free $150 Visa gift card to one of our first 500 YouTube subscribers. Do not miss out. So today on Let's List 'em, we will be counting down 7 people that made the 90s baby's childhood. We're going to inform you on creators of some of your favorite TV shows and movies, places to have fun, and toys. So let's jump in.
Blinded, trying to find my way. Find my way, find my. When you shine, they try to find shade. Try to find shade, try to find. Be yourself and do your thing. Do your thing, do your thing. Show the world what you will bring. You will bring.
Number 7, Sam and Dan Houser. Sam and Dan Houser are the sons of British film actress Geraldine Moffat, best known in her role as Glinda in 1971's Get Carter. And their father was a wealthy club owner that co-owned one of London's biggest jazz clubs, Ronnie Scott's. The brothers grew up in the limelight. Their parents were celebrities, so they lived a lavish lifestyle. The brothers loved video games and were frequent travelers. One place they loved to travel to was New York City, so they can attend events dedicated to their favorite genre of music, rap. They love the shit, the hustler mentality, the everyday struggle stories, and the crime. The brothers love rap so much, their dad used his music industry connections to land them a scouting job with BMG Records. And that's where it all started. Sam Houser had an idea. Instead of finding talent to rap to our audience about the life, how about we drop them in the life, in a game? And BMG agreed and decided to give them their own division of the company, BMG Interactive. They linked up with developers at Take-Two, and in 1997, Grand Theft Auto was released. And it was a controversial hit. And we know controversial hits make money in this world. After the success of GTA, the Houser brothers founded Rockstar Gaming, the gaming label that has produced classics like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Max Payne series, and Midnight Club Dub Edition. All these run around town games these kids playing these days, these are the godfathers to those developers, and true 90s baby legends. Number 6, Dr. James Andrews. Injuries. They're a huge part of sports. Some will say injuries are the number one reason why some champions are never crowned. Injuries will turn the most anticipated sporting events into something hard to watch. Injuries take away memories. Arguably, the number one person that keeps our sports memories intact goes by the name of Dr. James Andrews. Dr. Andrews is a sports physician that has saved the careers of some of our favorite athletes, like Peyton Manning, Triple H, and the late great Kobe Bryant. But his greatest achievement is Super Bowl 44, the big game held on February 7th, 2010, between the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints. While watching the game, Dr. Andrews noticed something that felt like a high five from God. He was watching one particular play and noticed he had done surgery on 9 Colts players and 12 Saints players, including Super Bowl MVP Drew Brees, who just a few years back was at risk at never playing again due to a terrible shoulder injury. Saving Drew Brees' career was huge for football and the city of New Orleans, which was still rebuilding from the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. Memories, people. He keeps them. Dr. Andrews' skills in that surgery room has made him the MVP in every league, the most valuable physician. Number 5, Floyd Norman. Floyd Norman isn't a household name, but I promise his work is known to all the 90s babies. Floyd Norman is Disney's first full-time African American animator, with the start of his employment being in 1957. I don't want to be rude here, but let's be real. For a black man in the 1950s to be employed by such a huge company, he had to have skills. And he does. Floyd's first role was in the illustration department where he worked on Disney originals like Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, and The Sword in the Stone. To keep his artistic skills sharp, Floyd would spend long nights sketching at Disney Studios. One day, after returning to work, Floyd noticed someone had gone through his sketches. Somebody who stays at the studio longer than him. Soon after, Floyd was promoted. Then it hit him. The only person who stays later than him is also the only person with enough power to promote him ahead of other white animators. And that would be Walt Disney himself, who tragically died 2 years later due to lung cancer. After Walt Disney's death, Floyd decided to leave Disney and go out on his own. Now an experienced animator, he met Bill Cosby, who would hire him to animate the iconic cartoon, Fat Albert. Fat Albert cool, but this not 90s baby shit. Floyd's return to Disney is where he drops that classic shit. Upon return to Disney, Floyd will go on to be a key member of the animation team that produced Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, Toy Story 2, and Monsters, Inc. And also freelance work with Cartoon Networks on Courage the Cowardly Dog and Robot Chicken. This was my shit. And probably yours too. And that's why Floyd Norman is a 90s baby legend. Number 4. Nolan Bushnell. Nolan Bushnell was special because he could easily make this countdown twice, to be honest. Nolan is the man that made this turn into this. All 90s baby gamers out there know we would not have been dragging our asses to no damn arcade to play video games. We wouldn't have it, our parents wouldn't have had it, just no. Well, Nolan is the creator of the first at-home gaming system, Atari. Atari not really our time, but this shit is. Nolan Bushnell is also the creator of Chuck E. Cheese, a restaurant where kids run around screaming and has a rat for a mascot. Before you even watched this episode, you felt in your bones Chuck E. Cheese had to be created by a rich man who liked to take chances, Nolan Bushnell. After getting into a business dispute with the board at Atari, Nolan wanted something else. He wanted to get into the restaurant business, but didn't want to give up his passion for video games. So he struck an idea. All the games that the Atari board turned down because they were deemed multiplayer necessary, he would just put them in his restaurant. And Chuck E. Cheese was born. Another fact about Mr. Bushnell is he was the boss and mentor to the man behind Apple Computers, Steve Jobs. So there's a chance there would be no iPhones or iPods if it wasn't for Nolan either. Whew, shit, he gotta be rich as hell. Number 3, Geraldine Laybourne. Geraldine Laybourne is a pioneer in the television industry. In 1980, Ms. Laybourne landed a job with the new up-and-coming kids TV network, Nickelodeon. The company only had 8 employees and was worth only a few $1,000,000 until Ms. Laybourne and her team derived a marketing scheme that would change children's media forever. So what did she do? Remember all those toy and amusement park commercials that would air while watching cartoons? Seemed like they would show you the whole damn toy aisle in every water park right in the middle of your show. That was Geraldine's idea. Market to kids. The little people that are usually the number one contributor to their parents' spending. And it was a genius idea. Keep commercial spots for toy manufacturers, candy, and amusement parks only. Watch those companies' profits go up, then raise the price of the ad spots. After years of successful ad sales and the introduction of Nicktoons like Rugrats, And Hey Arnold, by the year 1996, Nickelodeon was worth $8 billion, and Geraldine Laybourne was the reason. Geraldine's success at Nickelodeon caused her to land a job I think we all wanted as kids: the president of ABC Disney Networks, which means she ran Disney Channel. Under Geraldine's watch, Disney Channel brought us classic shows like Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, and That's So Raven, and even introduced a new network called ABC Family that's known for its classic holiday movies. Geraldine Laybourne wrote the blueprint on how a network dedicated to kids should be ran. If it wasn't for her work, who knows? 90 Babies probably wouldn't have so many classic shows.
Spike and Spike. You did it. That is a match. That is a win. Let's go. 1 and 2 buckets. A slime. Yes. Great way to start off the day, Tiffany. Congratulations to you. Jerry looking good. Let's see it on the slow motion instant replay. One time. Oh, looks nice. Runaway Reptar and more Slime Time Live coming at you. Oh, yeah. This crowd had a good weekend. You can tell this crowd is all kinds of crazy. They're all fired up for a great Slime Time Live. Well, as you can see, a little bit of a whipped cream pie in the face action going on right now.
Number 2, Dan Klissner. In the 1990s, adult parents in America were dealing with a problem related to their children. That problem was child obesity. The average weight for an American child was at an all-time high, and TV shows and video games were to blame. Parents across the country felt their child did not play outside as past generations did. Remember how parents used to say that shit? Well, anyway, toy creator Dan Klissner found this as an opportunity to create a toy that would make kids get up and do more physical activities. So he decided to create an interactive TV remote control for kids. The remote required the child to use their muscles in order for it to operate. You twisted the knob for volume, bonked the mallet to change the channel, and so on. Toy companies hated the idea. They only wanted to license toys that didn't require another product for its use. If no one wanted to change the channel, why would the kid play with the toy? Dan wasn't happy about all the rejection, but he understood it. He was a toy guy, not a TV guy. So he started to study a toy that took over pop culture in the late 70s, Simon Says. The handheld game that required the user to press a specific sequence of colors. That concept was perfect for the toy Dan was trying to create. Instead of the kid moving only when they wanted to change the setting on the TV, now the toy just flat out tells them when to move. And that's the thought process Dan used to create Bop It. Bop It is the addicting toy that requires the user to follow a sequence of commands instead of colors. Like pull it, twist it, and of course, bop it. At the time of this recording, Dan, with the help of Hasbro, has sold more than 30 million Bop Its, and they are still cranking out more versions. Like Bop It Beats, Bop It Tetris, and Bop It Keychain. All this success, and all Dan was trying to do was stop Lil Tyler from being chubby. Man, even attempting to help people pays off. Number 1, Satoshi Tajiri. For the final person on my countdown, I will be taking you into the triumphs of someone with mental illness, Satoshi Tajiri. As a child, like many people who suffer from mental illness, Satoshi did not have much of a social life. He spent a lot of his time at arcades playing video games, and if he wasn't doing that, he was capturing bugs, beetles, and other types of insects. Satoshi loved catching different species of bugs. He was fascinated by them, their various sizes and colors, and how they interacted with other bugs. As Satoshi grew up, he knew he wanted to go into the video game industry, so he attended the Tokyo National College of Technology, and that's where it all started. At 17, Satoshi created a magazine called Game Freak. The magazine was handwritten and featured up-and-coming games, reviews, drawings, and just talk video games. The magazine would serve as Satoshi's calling card. One day, an up-and-coming game artist named Ken Sugimura found the magazine and he loved it so much he had to be involved with it. So he looked up Satoshi and they became a team. Ken's business knowledge propelled Game Freak to new heights by introducing Satoshi to game development, and in 1994, they sold their first game to Sega, Postman. No clue what that is, but Postman opened Satoshi and Ken up to the big leagues. So they hired staff and other developers, and they got started on the first game of a franchise that would sell the most video games ever, Pokemon. Yeah. The Japanese franchise, also known as Pocket Monster outside the US, is number one on the list of most games sold, and was a staple in the 90s baby's childhood. No matter if we talking TV shows, movies, or of course the trading cards. Just the other day I was looking at the prices of some of these cards and it breaks my heart because I had all of these shits. What the fuck? It's like they're creating gold. Today, the Pokemon franchise is worth an estimated $50 billion and has made Satoshi one of Japan's richest people ever. So I hope you enjoyed the episode of Let's List Them. Here is all my social media contact. Say what up, ask a question, maybe request an episode for me to complete. This has been your host, Joe Rillis and Mario, and we thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And remember, be cool, be calm, and be there for somebody. We out.